All right, so in the class notebook, right, we are on the page called logical versus illogical. Now, let's figure out what logical versus illogical means first, because some of you might be like, I don't know what that means, right? Logical means it makes sense. Illogical means it doesn't make sense. Now, there are logical things to do at places, and there are illogical things to do at places. We talked briefly about it yesterday. I said, for example, you probably would definitely drink coffee in the cafe or in the restaurant, or you would eat in the restaurant or in the cafe, but you would probably not eat you probably wouldn't eat very much at the church, and you probably wouldn't eat at the gym, right? Those aren't very logical activities to do. Those ones, I mean, you could fight for them. They could make sense. Let's think of something more ridiculous. Words you have. Basketball. You could play basketball at the park. You could play basketball at the gym, but you probably would not play basketball in the restaurant, right? Those just aren't, that's just not a logical activity. So logical just means it makes sense. Illogical means it doesn't make sense, all right? And if you have to really, really fight for it, if you have to be like, but it could be, but sometimes, just don't even fight. Just be like, nope, it's not logical, okay? All right, so the directions say if the sentence is logical, or makes sense, write es lógico. If it is not logical, or if it doesn't make sense, write no es lógico, and write a logical sentence to correct it. So, the first example says, en el parque me gusta caminar. All right, so we just had all these places yesterday. So, en el parque would be in the park. Me gusta, I like. Caminar, and this is caminar, okay? Caminar is to walk. So, in the park, I like to walk. That's a logical activity. So at that one, we would write es lógico. The next example says, en el gimnasio no me gusta jugar fútbol americano porque es divertido. Okay, what? So en el gimnasio, in the gym, no me gusta, I don't like, jugar fútbol americano, to play American football or to play football, porque es divertido, because it is fun. What? In the gym, I don't like to play football because it's fun. That doesn't make any sense. So we would write no es lógico, and then we have to change it, all right? Now, here's my recommendation to you. Change as little as possible, as just the tiniest amount, all right? So you could have taken this whole example here. In the gym, I don't like to play football because it's fun. Pasted it, and then change just one or two words. In this example, I just took the no out. So in the gym, I like to play American football because it's fun. All right, that makes sense now. It's a logical sentence now. All right, so now that you've seen some examples, we're going to go ahead and go through this whole thing together. Now, you have a couple of options. If you want to work with me, then work with me. If you want to try to do this on your own and finish quickly, go ahead and do that, okay? That's your choice. All right, so here we go. And if you really want to put your Spanish into practice, all of the words on here, I made sure that I have taught you in the last 2 weeks. So these are not foreign words. These are not words that don't make sense. All right, you've had them. All right, so number 1, en el café me gusta beber agua a veces. In the cafe, I like beber agua, to drink water. A veces, sometimes. That's a logical sentence. That's logical. Yeah. In the cafe, I like to drink water sometimes. You can get a water at a cafe. So I'm going to take and I'm going to copy from my directions the words es lógico. So I ran my mouse over it. Control C to copy. Control V to paste. Now I don't like that it's bolded, so I'm going to highlight it again, and I'm going to Control B to unbold it. Look at me teaching you guys all sorts of little keyboard shortcuts. Number 2. Me gusta caminar en el centro. I like caminar, to walk, en el centro. And remember, centro was one of those words we had a couple of days ago, and it was downtown. I like to walk downtown. That's a pretty logical activity, right? You can go for a walk downtown. So I'm going to go ahead and copy es lógico. Control C. Control V. Boom. Number 3. No me gusta mucho comer en el restaurante. I don't really like to eat in the restaurant. But then why are you going to a restaurant, right? That doesn't make sense. Now, for some of you, you might be like, well, I don't like to eat in a restaurant because I don't like people to watch me eat. Okay, but like normally we go to a restaurant in order to eat, right? So this sentence is not logical. Right, so I'm going to copy this no es lógico from my directions. Click and drag my mouse over it. Control C to copy. Control V to paste. And then I don't like it bolded. All right, so now that I have the it's not logical, now I have to write a sentence to fix it. So I'm going to copy my sentence. Control C. Control V. Get out of here, number 3. I don't like you. All right. So I don't like to eat in the restaurant. How can I change this? How can I really easily, quickly change this? Just take out the word no, right? So now it says, me gusta mucho. I really like comer, to eat, en el restaurante, in the restaurant. I really like to eat in the restaurant. Perfect. All right, number 4. En la iglesia, in the church, siempre, always, me gusta dormir. Wait. Did I get that right? En la iglesia, in the church, siempre me gusta dormir. I always like to sleep. Why are you sleeping at church? Not okay, right? Some of you may be like, well, but that's my church service is so long and the pastor is so boring. Pick a different church. So, en la iglesia siempre me gusta dormir is not a logical answer. All right? So we need to change that. So we're going to copy no es lógico. Control C. Control V to paste. All right. So, normally in the classroom, this is where I would be asking you guys to get these answers for me, but since I know nobody participates, it's fine. I'm not salty about it at all. All right, so we're going to have to change this sentence. So we're going to copy the sentence. I'm going to Control C, Control V to copy. Get out of here, number 4. I don't even like you. All right, so let's see. What is the fastest way to change this. In the church, I always like to sleep. We could change the word always to never. That'd be super good. Or we can change the word dormir to something else that you would logically do at a church. All right, we can change it to pray. I'm going to go ahead and do both because I'm going to be extra. So I'm going to change siempre to nunca. And then I'm also going to change the word dormir to the word for to pray, which is rezar. Oops, rezar. R-E-Z-A-R. Okay, to be clear, if you are actually watching the video rather than just copying my answers, you do not have to have both of these. You only need to have one. This is how I'm going to know if people are actually paying attention or not, is if they have both, that's a problem. Pick one. So you could say, in church, I never like to sleep. Or you can say, in church, I always like to pray. Your choice. Okay, number 5. Nunca me gusta hablar por teléfono en el parque porque soy charlatán. Oof. All right. Nunca we had when we started sorting the activities. Nunca means never. Me gusta, so I like. Nunca me gusta, I never like. Hablar por teléfono, to talk on the phone. En el parque, in the park. Porque, because. Soy charlatán. Now this word, I know some of you are going to look at this and be like, what? I've never seen that word. You've never taught us that word. But I have. I gave you a whole big list of personality traits that you could use for reasons why you like or dislike something. And it's on that list. Charlatan just means like talkative, or I'm chatty. Okay. So nunca me gusta hablar por teléfono en el parque porque soy charlatán. I never like to talk on the phone in the park because I am chatty. What? That doesn't make any sense. If you're chatty, wouldn't you like to talk on the phone in the park? So that's not a logical statement. So we're going to go ahead and copy no es lógico. And then we have to change the sentence. All right, so I'm going to Control C to copy the entire sentence. Could you imagine if I made you handwrite this? All right. I'm going to paste that whole sentence there by pushing Control V to paste it. Let's see. I never like to talk on the phone in the park because I am talkative. Now we can change this. I'm going to change this 2 ways. All right. So I'm going to paste my sentence again. Get out of here. All right. We can say I always like to talk on the phone in the park because I'm talkative. That would be an okay fix. All right. Or we could say I never like to talk on the phone in the park because I am, we could say quiet. We're quiet. Okay. The word for quiet is callado or callada. And I'm a girl, so I'm going to put callada. That'll weed out the boys too if they're just copying my answers. Remember, if whichever sentence would make more sense to you by saying I always talk on the phone in the park because I'm talkative, or I never talk on the phone in the park because I'm quiet, whichever one is more appropriate for you, pick that one. All right? Hopefully this is going okay and it's not too fast for you. Either one of those works. All right. Number 6. Me gusta mucho ir al cine en el centro comercial porque es tonto. So me gusta mucho, I really like. Ir al cine, to go to the movie theater. En el centro comercial, in the mall. Porque es tonto, because it's silly. I really like to go to the movie theater in the mall because it's silly. That doesn't make any sense. Like, why would you be going to the mall? Why would you be going to the movie theater in the mall if it's silly? That doesn't make any sense, right? So that is not a logical statement. So I'm going to copy no es lógico. I'm going to click and drag my mouse over it. Control C to copy. And Control V to paste it in my answer box. All right. Okay, so I really like to go to the movie theater in the mall because it's silly. I think the easiest way on that one is going to be to change the word silly. Oh. So I really like to go to the movie theater in the mall because, well, you know what? Actually, I'm going to do the thing that I did on the last one. I'm going to make 2 sentences, and I'm only going to change, well, I'm going to change one thing in each. And that way you can decide which one you like better. So the first one, I like to go to the mall. No, I like to go to the movie theater in the mall because it is maybe fun. Fun's a good word, right? It makes sense. All right, the word for fun is divertido. Divertido. Me gusta mucho ir al cine en el centro comercial porque es divertido. I really like to go to the movie theater in the mall because it is fun. Now, some malls don't have movie theaters, and the movie theaters are like standalone. So the mall in my hometown doesn't have a movie theater in it anymore. But the Oakview, that mall, like in Cordova, that one has a movie theater in it. So, all right, and then we can change this next one. We can say, like, okay, so right now it says, I like to go to the movie theater in the mall because it is dumb. We're going to say, I don't like to go to the movie theater in the mall because it's dumb. Both of those are now logical sentences. They're very, very different, but they're still logical. All right. Okay, number 7. En el centro comercial no me gusta ir de compras. En el centro comercial, in the mall, no me gusta, I don't like, ir de compras, to go shopping. But shopping is a logical activity in the mall. That's why you go to the mall, right? For the most part. Whether it's actually buying things or just looking at things that you might buy, going shopping is a logical activity in the mall. All right, so that's not a logical thing. So we got to steal our no es lógico sentence. Control C. Control V to paste. All right, so in the mall, I don't like to go shopping. All right, so I'm kind of wondering like how I can change this one 2 ways. But I'm going to figure it out. And remember, you just have to pick one. All right, so in the mall, I don't like to go shopping. Well, I can just take out the don't. En el centro comercial, me gusta ir de compras. In the mall, I like to go shopping. And then the next one, let's see. In the mall, I don't like... How about I make it ridiculous and I say I don't like to play volleyball. I don't think there will ever be a tournament or anything like that for volleyball in a mall. Please don't Google it and see if there is and prove me wrong, okay? En el centro comercial no me gusta jugar voleibol. I don't know. If you want to come up with something else that's ridiculous to put in there, other things that you wouldn't like to do at the mall, go for it. Fill that blank in, okay? Make this personalized. I'm just grasping at straws. All right, number 8. Me gusta leer un libro en la casa a veces porque soy inteligente. I like to read a book in the house sometimes because I am intelligent. Now, some of you might be saying, well, I don't like to read books. Okay, but it's not asking about you. It's just asking, does this sentence make sense? Is that a logical thing? Does that make sense? Is reading a book in the house sometimes because a person is intelligent, does that make sense? Yeah, absolutely. For sure it does. All right, so we're going to go ahead and steal es lógico. I'm going to Control C, Control V, boom. It's a logical sentence. Reading a book at the house sometimes because I'm smart. Yeah. Okay, number 9. Siempre me gusta levantar pesas en el gimnasio porque soy muy atlético. Siempre, always, me gusta, I like, levantar pesas, to lift weights. En el gimnasio, in the gym, porque soy, because I am, muy atlético, because I am very athletic. So some of you might be like, yeah, I've never stepped foot in a gym because I'm not touching the weights. All right. And I don't know if you guys have seen like that little, it's not quite a GIF, but it's like a little tiny video of like there's this guy and he's got big old muscles and he puts an egg right here and then he crushes it, right? And then there's this little teeny tiny girl and the boy goes, I'm different. And then there's this little teeny tiny girl and she puts the egg here and she squeezes it and she's like, I'm built different. It's just, oh my gosh, it's so funny. Like, everyone can crush an egg right here. It just, okay. Anyway, so I always like to lift weights in the gym because I'm athletic. That totally makes sense. You go to the gym in order to lift weights. And if you're lifting weights, you're probably at least a little bit athletic. So go ahead and copy that it's logical. Run your mouse over it, Control C, click where you want it to go, Control V to paste it. And let's see, number 10. No me gusta pasar tiempo con los amigos en el club porque soy callado. I don't like, no me gusta, I don't like pasar tiempo con los amigos, to spend time with friends. En el club, in the club, porque soy callado, because I am quiet. I don't like to spend time with friends in the club because I'm quiet. That makes sense, right? Spending time with friends at a club, like the Boys and Girls Club, remember we're keeping it appropriate, like that's a logical activity, right? And a person would not like doing that if they're shy. So, yeah, we're going to go ahead and steal es lógico again. So Control C to copy, Control V to paste. Boom. Look, only 2 more. Yay! All right. A veces, sometimes. No me gusta, I don't like. Practicar deportes, to practice sports. En el parque, in the park. Porque es difícil, because it is Ooh, and this word here, I've had you look at it before. You've seen it before. Difícil looks like the word difficult a little bit. A little bit. It's a stretch, but it kind of looks like it. Difficult, right? So sometimes I don't like to practice sports in the park because it's difficult. Practicing sports in a park, that's logical, right? You could take a football with you and you could throw it back and forth between you and a friend. That's practicing a sport. It's fun, but it's still practicing a sport. You could take a basketball with you. Maybe there's a basketball court at the park, right? So you can practice sports at the park. That's logical. So the person is saying, sometimes I don't like it because it's hard. Why would it be hard? Maybe maybe the grass is lumpy, and so you can't practice soccer very well. Or maybe one of the rims is bent, and so you can't practice basketball very well. So that's a logical sentence, right? Sometimes I don't like to practice sports in the park because it is difficult. That makes sense. That makes sense. So I'm going to Control C, es lógico, Control V to paste it in there. All right, and the last one says, no me gusta. No me gusta. I don't like. Trabajar. Trabajar means to work. Porque, because. Soy super perezoso. Because I am super lazy. I don't like to work because I am super lazy. That makes sense. That makes sense. I don't like to work because I'm super lazy. Totally makes sense. All right. The last thing I copied was the it is logical sentence. So I'm going to just go ahead and paste it again. Es lógico. All right. So that is it. That should be the entire thing. Let's see. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 sentences that did not make sense. All right. So all you should need to do now that you have all of these, is to click submit on the assignment. All right. Super.